Hello, good evening. I've spent like the whole day outside, so I'm running a tad behind, and I just got in and set and had a snack. I like having this here so you can see pretty colors behind me instead of a window and whatnot. Alright, I hope you all are doing well tonight. My phone holder thing keeps rotating on its own, driving me nuts. So I'm just jumping on my Facebook page to make sure I can see us in the comments, since it's hard for me to see comments on my phone itself. And there we are. Okay. I can see comments. Do you like all my little hairs back here? I don't know. After winter time, I always have like, hats and stuff on. And now that it's like getting nice outside, I've been just having my hair up and not any like, hat on, not all the time. And I have like so many short hairs up here. It looks like I could bring them all together and have like little wispy bangs going on. It's so ridiculous. But there we go. Hi Tracy, how are you? All right, making sure I can see my comments on the computer. That's important. This thing keeps rotating. Stay. Okay, so I think I have most of my stuff ready. We're going to be working on a 2D landscape tonight. So I've got a piece of felt fabric here ready to go. And why can't I see comments? I saw one comment here. Facebook is driving me nuts. This is interesting. I swear I saw another comment pop up on my phone, but I can't see it on the laptop. That is so weird. If you guys haven't seen yet, I have a new website, or have a website. Got that up and running this last week or two here. If somebody else said hi and I didn't see it, I'm really sorry because it's not showing them on my computer and I can't see them on my phone. Oh, there we go. More of them are popping up now. So we'll see. Maybe it's internet. Okay, that seems to be working. All right, Debbie, Tracy, hello. Hi, Mom. Tracy, thank you. I have most of my current in stock stuff behind me, mostly. I love the colors. This is like my favorite right here that I've done recently. I like the bright ones today. But anyways, we're going to do some felting. So I think I can see all my comments now. And we can just about get started. So, oh, you're in Alaska too. Wow, it's really nice here in Michigan. Where'd my button go? There it goes. So it's a beautiful, you can kind of see outside, that's where the chickens are. And the dog run. But it was actually a really nice 70-some degree day. And we're supposed to have 70s all week. So it's going to be a really nice week. I've been outside like every day, all day long. So that's been exciting. So we have a blank canvas here. And earlier in the day, I decided we're going to do like a landscape scene. So I kind of have something in my brain that's going to come together. And I'm going to kind of do like I do my landscape bats. I didn't want to break one apart that I've made, so I'm just going to start from roving. And we're going to do like some greenish and brown for some grass back down here. And then we're going to do like trees and sky up here. So I've got I grabbed a bunch of different colors and I have all my felting stuff here. So we're going to see how this goes. I might need another color. I forgot to grab a light blue, but we're going to get started. So I'm going to be doing some blending by hand. To give a cool the blending by hand I like to do because it gives it kind of a oh, I can't think of the word right now, but it doesn't blend like a solid color, so you can see the different colors in it. Depending on what I'm doing with my blended colors, sometimes I'll blend them more or less. Since my green I have is so bright, I'm going to blend it with the brown just to mute it some. It is a little bit brighter than what the screen shows. There's more this bright green in it, actually. So I'm going to lay some out across this bottom section. I've been doing lots of 3D projects lately, and I haven't been doing any like wool paintings this week. Last week we did it's right here. We did this little sheep, and I said I wanted to put like flowers on its head, so I did some more like that. Whoop. Here's a little one. It's got a little bit of some kind of vegetation, so I was trying to take pictures of it outside. So this one has some flowers, really cute locks, and I opted to go with wired legs. And then here's a colorful one. We did a pig. This is a little pig. And then I finished this llama that I've been working on. I did pink and yellow flowers for that one. So I've been doing lots of 3D projects. So we're doing a 2D project today. Okay, so I've got kind of my green spread out here. When I do a large area, I like to lay out a lot of the fiber first and then just go to town on felting it. I made pretty quick work of that. I'm going to felt it a little bit more just because it does need a little more. There we go. Hi, Mary. Hi, Jacqueline. How are you doing? So I was really excited yesterday. I had it was a family that we know through 4-H. They were over last night. I had been talking to them earlier. As the one girl, we actually have one of her 4-H lambs that we had bought from the fair. And she likes to see how she's doing. So I was talking to her about that. And she started telling me all about her project that she's working on for school. And she wanted to use wool to make a picture of somebody. So I kind of inquired about it. And I was like, and she was going to clean her own wool, but she was having a hard time with it. So I said, just let me get you set up with some stuff. I have everything you could possibly want to get to make this project. So they ended up coming over and they got to see all the sheep and see the farm and whatnot. And then I got her set up with her basic felting supplies. Got her a felting mat and different colors of wool that she needed for her project. And had her start felting to just learn about it a little bit, make sure she was good to go so she'd go home and finish her project. And it was just awesome to have a young lady interested in something like this. So I made an aspiring new young felter yesterday, and I really like helping the kids out with that stuff. I did when I was in 4-H. When I was older in 4-H, I taught like the dog training for some of it, and that was always really fun with the kids. So I've always enjoyed the teaching aspect. And the kids are usually pretty eager to learn and they actually have a decent attention span. If they want to learn something, usually that's a good sign that they have a, good work ethic and good attention span for that sort of stuff. So that was fun. An unexpected but exciting way for the day to go. So I filled in a bunch of my thin spots here. And this should be the last time around on just the green part. All right, so then we got green. So this next section, I want like some trees up in here and then a little bit of sky above it. This, I did not cut this piece of fabric very straight at all. So I cut it with scissors and I didn't use my rotary cutter. Sometimes it's a pain to get the whole rotary cutter out, but anyways, I want to do this dark bluish purple color with probably I've got this dark, well, it's like, it's almost black, but it's not quite black yet. It's like got a little brown tinge to it. Because the trees, I want to have like a darker, kind of a darker background behind them, and then I can add them on top of that. Just a little darker. Oh, my computer's doing something very strange now. Yes, and it's not showing me all the comments. Oh boy, here, hold on. I gotta find your comments again. I see that there was questions. The way Facebook has changed some of this stuff is just driving me insane. Okay, there we go. Now I can see some new comments. All right. Tracy says it's 32 degrees and snowing in Alaska. Well, that doesn't necessarily surprise me. And then Jacqueline asks, what are we felting onto? And I'm felting onto wool felt fabric. This is very stiff fabric. It's not like the pre-felt that they sell for like felting onto. I used that originally and it pulls apart and it moves. And I didn't want my stuff to move, especially when I was doing dog portraits. And I wanted everything to be very proportionate. Because I would transfer like an outline of the dog onto my fabric, and that didn't go so well with the pre-felt. It would move a lot, so I'd have to be very careful felting with that. So I decided to get felt fabric, which is the felt fabric is quite expensive. I think it's somewhere around $80 for a yard, which is, I want to say, like, oh, I can't remember. It might be like 72 inches wide, so it's wider than a normal like bolt of fabric. It's not like, your, what is it, like 40, 44 or something a regular bolt of fabric is. This one's like a extra wide, which is nice. But I bought a yard a ways back, and maybe I bought another one recently. I don't remember for sure. But by far is way better than using pre-felt. Then again, you can always felt your own background and wet felt it. And I've done that, and that works really well too, because you can felt a really nice thick piece. But I do not recommend using pre-felt for felting like detailed pictures onto. Now I say that the wool fabric is expensive, the actual felt, but like this piece, this size that I'm using cost me cents. I don't even think it costs $1. I think. I say that, could be wrong. Could be $1 or something like that. But it's not crazy. Because that yard goes a long way. Okay, that went on really good for the most part. It's pretty thick. Got a little spot there I'm going to fill in. There's a little dog hair right there. I'm always pulling dog hair out of my felting projects. I see more comments again. Laura asks, have you ever tried recreating a photo in felted form? Yeah, I do. I have done that. Like when I used to do my dog portraits, I would take an actual photo, and trace all the outlines, like trace all the eyes, all the details I needed, and I'd transfer that to my fabric, to give me my base, and then I would felt all the wool on top of it, which sounds sort of easy, but still takes quite a bit of work. Those took me days to complete. I mean, it kind of just depends what I'm doing sometimes, whether I want to use a picture or not. It just depends. I usually base a lot of my projects off of pictures, like the felting projects, like my deer that we did. This was based off of a picture. My deer in the woods. Because unless you have you really know your proportions and how to size things properly, it can be difficult just to like put it on to, start felting. So I do use pictures most of the time, but sometimes I just kind of felt. But I've like drawn my whole life. I've done stuff my whole life, so this is kind of just part of the artistic part of me that can just put things down into wool. And Debbie, thank you for watching. That means a lot. Okay, so we've got blue and green. So before I start adding trees, we're going to add some blue sky above, which is the color. Ooh, I might have enough right here. I've got my blue bag of wool. Blue. This is the color that I wanted. This is the sky blue. And I've got, this is bright blue. So I'm actually going to going to blend them. And a little bit of white, because a little bit of white will make clouds. Because what would one of my projects be without clouds? Wispy white clouds. If you've ever done one of my tutorials for wool painting things, and there's ever a sky, we will be putting white wispy clouds in the sky. Actually, that might be enough. Alright, we've got that there. So I'm going to felt that on top for our sky, and then I'm going to come back in and blend a little bit more. I'm going to felt this down first. I have a little bit more here to blend if need be, which I probably will to fill in these holes. Okay, well, we've got the whole surface colored. Now I'm going to come back in here with my dark right here. I've got the color I used in this section and the top section. I'm going to blend that a bit. And then we're just going to use a little bit of this across here. And that will give us a gradual change of color. At least a little. Okay, so I've got most of the very background color done. Now I think I'm going to kind of work from the top towards the bottom. So first, of course, I'm going to add some wispy clouds. So usually I take a little bit of this, of my white, and I'll just add like a little bit. Enough so you can, see a good chunk of white, but at the same time you can see through it. That's what I call my wispy clouds. So if you've been watching, following along here on the page, you know that we have been in the process of moving our sheep from one farm to our actual homestead here. And we have almost everybody here besides the last moms who are still with their babies, which is about 15 ewes. So we have around, let's see, 60, 50, 80. We have at least 60 here now, out here. And I haven't posted a video since we actually moved and got them here. You might have seen them in like my reels maybe. But for the most part, I haven't like posted a video here on the page. So if anybody wants to, after I'm done felting, we could go take a peek at the sheep here. So if anybody's interested in seeing the sheep, drop a comment. And I gotta go back outside and do some more chores after this. Anyway, so if anybody wants to, let me know and I'll keep going for a little bit of peek at the sheeps. Okay, so, oh, and the puppies. The big white fluffs are with the sheep as well right now. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do some trees, which I really don't like making trees, but we're going to make them. I'd much rather like do like some mountains back here or something, but for some reason today my brain said trees. So I'm going to be taking some dark, is this the right brown? This isn't even the right brown, is it? No, I guess it is. Okay, so I'm going to be taking this dark brown and making just some main tree trunks here at first. All right, Debbie votes yes on seeing the sheep and the puppies. They're not really like puppy looking like if you've seen them. They're giant puppies, but they're only 8 months old, 7 months old, something like that. They were born in September. I counted on my hand the other day. All right, so we're making some tree trunks. I'm gonna make sure I start some that the bottom of the tree will start like right here and then back farther too to give it some perspective and depth. We're gonna make this one a big, thick tree here. As Bob Ross would say, you just drop a tree right in here. Why not? Just drop it right in. For a while there, we were like, Bob Ross was our winding down at night. We'd watch Bob Ross on YouTube, his old videos. It is very relaxing because it just comes to life. So I'm just doing some little branches off these trees. I should be able to. I was just thinking, at the other farm, I never had good enough service to do good live videos outside. But here I have, for the most part, I have decent enough service that I can do lives outside. So hopefully next year I'll be able to do some more like live in the barn with lambs and whatnot. Because I've just, in the past, I usually post pre-recorded, or you can see them in my reels and whatnot. This looks like our woods in the wintertime, plus like down dead trees. Okay, I think that's enough tree trunks. for the moment. I'm going to run over this with my multi-needle tool. And then we need to give it some life to our trees. So unfortunately, I don't have very many good greens. I need to try to dye up some darker green because I just don't have very much. Here is some green. Okay. So I'm going to take, I've got this darker-ish in the color I was using before. I'm going to blend some of that together. And I'm just going to take some kind of like ball it up almost just a little bit. Not too much because I don't want to cover up everything. And my woods out back here are still all brown. Oh, but there's deer out here tonight. We haven't quite hit leaves yet. It's still April. But it is very warm. My magnolia tree is definitely going to bloom. Probably going to start blooming by the end of the week. So I saw some of the buds opening up. And if you want to do a little bit more like texture for your trees, you can definitely make like little balls in felt, like kind of in the center of them. I swear I had wool in between my hands and it disappeared. Oh, there it is. I don't know how well you can see the texture there, but there is like some texture to that. It's popping off a little bit. So you kind of add like some of that. Come on, there we go. I've never liked drawing trees or felting trees, but when I do, this is kind of how I do them. Sometimes, at least. Mary, I'm in Michigan and I have a magnolia tree. One of the very few magnolia trees. It's so small because every year we get our little, warm time. Like right now, this whole week it's supposed to be in the 60s or in the 70s, and it's April, and then we'll get a couple frosts again, and all the blossoms will turn brown. And yeah, my tree is definitely not supposed to be here, but for some reason, people who lived here before us, they put in this little magnolia tree. Okay, so I used that color I blended, and I'm going to go back in with some pops of this lighter green. For some highlights here. All right, we've got a little bit of trees. Since we're getting closer to 7, I'm going to move on to a few other things. And then we will go see the sheep and the puppies. Okay. I might add some more stuff down here later. We might continue this next week, actually, too. But I want to show some little things down here. I've got my pile of different colors I've been using for flowers lately. So, let's see. Where's over here? So for flowers, I'm going to do just a little bit of like flowers over here. I'm going to do some like stems, kind of like I did the trees, and then add some the actual flowers over top. Okay, there are some little flower stems. Now, my favorite colors to use for flowers are red and yellow and pink usually. And my favorite way recently to be making flowers is to like ball up a little bit of wool and felt like just in the centers. And we can add a little bit of yellow or whatever color you want to put in the middle. Maybe more red. Is it this red? I think it's that red. And I mean, you can leave them without a color center too. You can do some red flowers, some bigger, some smaller. And then maybe some yellow flowers. Whoop. Okay, so there is our project so far. Yeah, I have some more plans for this, so I think we will continue this next Tuesday. So I just got some little flowers here started. Want to add some more stuff out here. I might add some shape because of course I might have to add some shape, and then we'll fill in this section a little bit more. So next Tuesday at 7 again we'll be doing felting. Tuesday night felting, so make sure you come back for that. And we'll be setting this aside until then. Oh no, my phone's going to die. Oh boy, we have 5% battery left. Okay, we might be able to go outside really fast. My phone's like on fire. Whoa. Alright, we might be able to go outside really fast before my phone dies. We've got like 4% battery, which is not good. Not good news. But we can make it, right? We can go see the sheep. If the broadcast ends and I didn't say goodbye yet, that might be why. Just gotta put on some shoes, boots. They will go on my feet. Hopefully my coat is out here. I already have 3% battery. This is like dying at a unreal rate here. Okay, I can barely see the screen, but here are a group of ladies, about 40 out here. These are mostly our BFL cross limbs from last year. I say, hey, what are you doing? Here they go. Oh no, I only have 1% battery left, which is not ideal. So, I didn't make it to the dogs, but you might be able to see them in the background here, maybe. But thanks for joining me tonight. I'll do another video of the sheep here soon, but we'll see you next Tuesday at 6 Eastern again. And until then, happy felting and enjoy the sheep.